What's up guys, it's Kristen here today for a book haul. Now this is a small-ish book haul, of course I mean that in comparison to BookTube standards. I have 6 books which I've actually accumulated over the past few months. I don't know why I just really haven't felt the urge to own my books as of late. I've just been getting most of my books from the library and I really liked how Vanessa from Faerie recently did a video on how some people believe that you need to have a lot of money or to buy a ton of books in order to have a booktube channel, which is of course not true. And also I have a few bookish items that I purchased on my booktuber meetup trip to New York last month, where I met up with Faerie from Faerie Talks Books, Kate Howe, Amanda from Amanda Center, and Hilary from Yrrobotfriend, which of course was just so much fun to finally meet them in real life and go to all of these bookstores and bookish places in the city. First up, the book that I'm probably most excited about, it is Shelter by Jung. I couldn't believe when I saw this on Book Outlet for $5 or $6 and there was only one copy left, and I just immediately put it in my cart. I know several people who have already read this and just raved about it. What I can gather, this is a contemporary book about a family living in America, and like many Americans, how they are struggling in the current economic climate and how that is bringing about tensions within the family, which is obviously a situation that many people are still finding themselves in and dealing with the ramifications of the 2008 financial crisis. Then I picked up Redefining Realness, My Path to Womanhood, Identity, Love, and So Much More by Janet Mock. This is Janet Mock's memoir detailing her experiences growing up multiracial and poor and also trans in America. I know a little bit about her story and I've watched several videos of her at speaking engagements, and she is always just so eloquent and engaging, and I think this is just a story that needs to be heard. Next, I have another nonfiction book. It is Witches in America by Alex Marr. I heard about this from my friend Hilary here on BookTube, and it's kind of been getting mixed reviews, but again, I saw it on Book Outlet for a very cheap price. In this, the author is exploring people who practice some form of witchcraft or paganism or Wiccan as their religion. Reading the introduction, I was really interested in how the author talked about how they're really living on the fringes of society and how little is actually known, so she almost gets this insider account on it. And then obviously it is about witches, so of course naturally I just think of practical magic and all of that kind of stuff, even though I'm sure the reality is quite different from that. And the last of my Book Outlet purchases, I got The Last Days of Magic by Mark Tompkins. This is my in real life book club's pick for the month of January, and it wasn't available at my library, so I had to buy it, so really hoping that I'm going to enjoy it. This is a fantasy book based in medieval Ireland and based all around the Celtic myths and fairy tales. This next book is actually going to be a gift that I will be giving to a friend of mine. It is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi. I have not read this, but I really want to. It is a memoir about a neurosurgeon who was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and I saw Sophie from Portal in the Pages did a review on this a while back, which was amazing of course, and she said that it was just one of the most powerful books that she had read. And the last book I got is probably not that exciting to most people, but I was very excited when I saw this particular edition of The Catcher in the Rye. I owned the other one that has that like carousel thing on the cover that I've never liked, and I've always wanted to get one of the rainbow editions, if that's what they're called. But for some reason I've always had trouble locating one, even though I don't feel like they're that rare or anything. But when I saw this at a library bookstore on our trip, I think somewhere outside of Philadelphia, and it was on for only $1, I jumped at it. And now for the few bookish items that I got when we were on the trip. Of course, being in New York, we went to the Strand and I got this adorable tote bag that I've been carrying around with me everywhere since, but you don't even know the selection that they had. There were so many. One of the toughest decisions of my life was to actually pick one. And with the bag, I got a bookmark, of course, and also Faerie bought all of us these postcards that they have, which is just beyond adorable. And lastly, I'm just obsessed with this one little bookmark that I got. I think it's just so simplistic and beautiful, and I got it at the Albertine, which is a bookstore inside the French embassy in New York where they sell mostly French books. I just fell in love with this bookstore and it had this whole amazing design painted on the ceiling. And I didn't actually buy anything when I was there, unfortunately, so I kind of just grabbed one of these as I was walking out and not sure if I was allowed to or not. So that is it for my book haul, and of course I would love to hear your thoughts on these if you have read them, and also how do you feel about owning books versus just borrowing them? Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!